This video is sponsored by Estelle Center for Creative Arts. I will be teaching there July 2026. I'll put a link in the description. So this week I have been working on faces. But the first thing I did was I turned my sewing machine around so I could actually see my design wall. Not quite sure why it took me this long to figure that out. Here I am working on a simple eye. So the first thing I do is draw it out using straight lines because with the folded foundation paper piecing method, you're going to fold paper and sew alongside the fold. So we need straight lines. Here I'm just numbering the sections and the order of how I think I will stitch it. I'm also making notes about what colors or fabrics I want to use in each of those sections. You can see here this is not my first attempt. So I like to do a number of sketches and then choose the one that I like the best and go with that. So the next thing I'm doing here is cutting out the template, and then I'm going to cut into the 3 different sections. Next, I need to choose my fabrics. So the first fabrics I put down are some skin tones from my collection on Spoonflower, and now I am showing you all of these lovely Cherrywood fabrics that Carla put together for me for use as skin tones. There are 15 in total, and they are delicious. If fabrics can be delicious, Cherrywood fabrics are delicious. And to top it off, I have these Cherrywood fabrics left over from the Jane quilt that I did at the Estelle Center. These are the fabrics I'm choosing for this base. The first 3 are Cherrywood. The next 2 are from my Spoonflower collection. And the last one is from my Spring in the Northwoods with P&B Textiles. So here I'm just making sure that my strips are wide enough. Want to make sure there's at least a 1/4 inch on either side of the template. And now I'm choosing, or I'm laying out the ones that I'm going to be using for this section of the eye. So this is the medium brown. And you can see I have it marked as 1 medium. 1 means that's the first one, the first fabric that I put down. Medium, or M, means it's the color. Now I'm folding the sew lines on the template, and I'm gluing the very first one down. Here you can see I've got a 1/4 inch around the whole thing. You've seen me do this paper piecing method before if you've watched my previous videos. Because it's so small, it's a little bit hard to get a good view of it. Have you noticed my jacket yet? Someone was asking when I was sewing all those pieces together a few videos back. in the comments. They said, what are you going to do with that? Well, this is what I did with it. Made it into a jacket. And this jacket is being developed by a friend of mine who is an apparel designer. And we're hoping to create a workshop based on my quilting methods and her jacket methods. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of those kind of classes out there right now, but maybe we have something a little different to offer. I think we do, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what yet. So I have one side of the eyeball done, and now I'm going to do the center section, which has the tiniest pieces. Now, when you do this yourself, you don't have to go this tiny. You can make a bigger eye, or you can make a simpler eye. And we go over this method in detail in my workshops. It might look complicated, but once you've done it and you get the hang of it, it's really a fun method. And I jumped ahead. Here's the finished eyeball, which is a little bit wonky. All of these things take a little bit of experimentation. And I did a lot of experimenting last summer when I visited the Estelle Center for the Creative Arts. Learn more about Estelle Center here.
Nestled in the breathtaking beauty of La Vida, Colorado, the Estelle Center for Creative Arts honors the legacy of Estelle, a beloved grandmother who inspired all those she encountered to pursue art and creativity in the context of community. Her love of beauty and imagination lives on through her granddaughter's dream to draw artists together in a place where they can discover their strengths, freedom, and self-compassion, a place where creative journeys are cherished. At the Estelle Center, we host numerous instructional art retreats throughout the year, led by renowned artists, from quilting to mixed media to writing and more. We've got classes for burgeoning artists looking to expand their skill sets. The venue is also available for rent when you want to host a private retreat among friends. Our stunning Southwestern-inspired retreat center features a large, well-lit workroom and commercial kitchen, as well as 6 uniquely decorated, comfortable guest rooms located upstairs. Reignite your creative passion and purpose in La Vida at the Estelle Center for Creative Arts, where creativity comes to life.
It took me a minute to figure out why I had double eyelids on this face, and then I realized that I stitched the eye in upside down. So kind of crazy how you don't know how long it took me to figure out what I did wrong. I just kept thinking, oh, that's interesting. Huh. I don't think I'll do that again. Or maybe I'll just make the colors a different color. And I mean, it's silly, but yep, the eyeball is in upside down. Gotta love it. And usually I don't care if the lips are mismatched or not lined up, but in this case, I decided that was the only place I did want things to line up. So I put a pin in and made sure those lips lined up. Oh, the possibilities. Every time I start a new face, I get very excited. I don't know if they're going to turn out strange or pretty or funny. I'm not going to make you watch me sew this one, but I am going to show you the beginning and the ends. So here I'm choosing fabrics. The first four are Cherrywoods, and these two are my flesh or skin tone designs that I have on Spoonflower. I'm thinking of using those for the lips. And this is also one of my Spoonflower prints that I'm going to use for the background. And this gray tone on tone I'm going to use for the white of the eyes. And then I have two blacks, or charcoal and black. And one of them is going to be for the pupil, and one is going to be for the eyebrow. And then this is going to be the green for the iris. And I've made this template because I'm getting ready to teach this method, and this is just one of the templates that I'm planning to use. So the first thing I need to decide before I start cutting into the fabric is how wide a strip do I need? And so I'm looking at this bigger cheek piece, and I need at least a 1/4 inch on either side. So I am going to cut a little bit generous 2-inch wide strips. And here I have all the strips cut. Of course, the background needed a bigger piece. And here's my little illustration showing where I think I might be putting the fabrics. And as we know, this can change, and this does change. It's part of the joy of this process. It's also why I am a big believer in making many of whatevers. I once thought I'm going to do a quilt and do like 100 eyeballs. I might still do that, or 100 faces, or, you know, I say 100 because I'm a big 100-day challenge person. And here are a few in process photos. I love that I never know where these are going to go. Thank you for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it. And I hope this has been inspiring for you. I hope you'll give it a go. Don't forget to visit the Estelle Center. I'll leave a link for you here. And I'll see you next week.